In the fall of 2004, Global Coalition for Peace was invited to bring the Women's Self-Reliance Program to El Remate, Guatemala. Myself and Marta Luz Atkinson arrived in El Remate on January 12, 2005, with a plan, high hopes, and little idea of what to expect. The Women's Self-Reliance Program was born out of the response to another of our programs, Mother to Mother for Peace and Nonviolence. The response of an Indian woman who asked, "How can we ask our mothers to work at teaching their children nonviolence when they can't even feed them?" Her question inspired us to develop the Women's Self-Reliance Program, which is applicable in any area of the world, to address the problem of mothers faced with a lack of resources. The program integrates education on nutrition and microenterprise with the hands-on component of the Sattvic Peace Gardens. El Remate was the first application of this program, which we hope to take to other parts of the world where the need is even more critical. Now we would like to show you what this program, in combination with their own energy and enthusiasm, has done for the women of El Remate. El Remate is in the northern region of Guatemala known as the Petén, and sits on the beautiful Lake Piton Itza. This video covers 7 visits to the village between January 2005 and January 2007. On the first morning, 7 women showed up, but more arrived as the day went on. We started right in planting some seeds for transplanting later on. Our hostess, Ann Lossing of Project Ishkanan, provided us with some soil, because the property around the women's homes has almost no topsoil. Their yards are almost pure limestone. In the afternoon we got busy right away putting in the gardens, finding material for framing, and so on. We bought 1 load of topsoil that came from around the lake, but we could see that it was going to be too expensive to purchase enough soil for all the gardens. So we started finding sites in the low-lying areas of the village where there was fairly good soil and hauling it up to the garden sites. We all worked together to put the gardens in, and we used whatever materials were available on and around each woman's property, so each garden is different. Sometimes we had to sift the rocks out of the soil. It was a lot of work, but eventually each of our 15 participants had a garden, and 2 additional gardens were put in for 2 of the older women. This woman, Blanca Rosa, was very quiet and kind of sad when we first met her. But she has really taken to the gardens, and it has literally changed her personality and her life. We had to install chicken wire fences around the gardens because there are numerous animals that roam the village. All kinds of poultry, pigs, many dogs, and even horses. Everything grows very fast in the hot, humid climate, and the seedlings we planted the first day were actually ready to put in before we left 2 weeks later. The people in this area of Guatemala are known for their beautiful woodcrafts, but the markets in the area are very limited, so we're trying to help them find more markets. Marta Luz and I are both students of the Shanti Yoga School in Bethesda, Maryland, and one of the unplanned but very popular things we did was to teach the women and children some yoga, which they took to enthusiastically. These next few slides will give you an idea of the housing in the village. As you can see, it's pretty poor. Some of the structures with the typical thatched roofs are quite lovely, but you have some, like these, which give little protection from the elements. The women do their cooking on wood-burning brick stoves, which exposes them to a lot of smoke and results in a high incidence of lung disease. Another major health problem is fungus and yeast infection, a product of the combination of heat, humidity, and a high sugar content in their diets. These girls are enjoying a snack of sugar cane. This baby had a fungus infection all over her and was losing her hair as a result. Most of the children had some degree of fungus infection, such as these boys who all have it on their legs. On the last day of that first visit, we showed the women a slideshow of themselves that Marta Luz had made. They had a great time watching themselves.